What's up guys, this is Massey. Welcome to another video. In this video I want to talk about exponents, and I have lots of different examples for exponents. Let's start with the first one. A to the power of negative 2 times a to the power of negative 3 to the power of 4. So first of all, I'm gonna find out the expression inside the bracket. It's a to the power of negative 2 plus negative 3 to the power of 4. So it's going to be a negative 2 and negative 3 is going to be negative 5 to the power of 4. So it's going to be negative 5 times positive 4. So it's going to be a to the power of negative 20. Because when you have power of another power, you need to multiply the exponents. Next one, y to the power of 4 times negative 3 times 2 y to the power of 4. So the first one is going to be y to the power of 4 times negative 3 times 2y to the power of 4. So it's going to be y to the power of negative 12 times 2y4. So I need to write the 2 at the beginning, and then you have y to the power of negative 12 plus 4. So it's going to be 2y to the power of negative 8. Next one, b to the power of 3 to the power of 3 is going to be b to the power of 3 times 3 times 2 to the power of 2 times b to the power of negative 1. So it's going to be b to the power of 9 times 2b to the power of negative 1. So it's going to be 2b to the power of 8. Next one, 2x to the power of 2 times 2x squared. So it's going to be 4x squared times 2x squared. So it's going to be 4 times 2, 8. X to the power of 2 plus 2 is going to be x to the power of 4. Here you have 2 times x squared, y to the power of 4 times 4x squared, y to the power of 4 times 3x. So 2 times 4 times 3, I need to multiply the exponent first. 2 times 4 is 8, times 3 is 24. X to the power of 2 plus 1. Y to the power of 4 plus 4 divided by 3x minus 3 y to the power of 2. So 24 divided by 3 is 8. X is going to be 2 plus 1 is 5. 5 minus negative 3 is going to be 8. Y to the power of 8 minus 2 is going to be 6. Then here you have 2 times 3, 6. X, we have just x. Y to the power of 3 plus 3 is going to be 6. Divided by 3x squared, y to the power of 4. 6 divided by 3 is 2. X to the power of 1 minus 2. Y to the power of 6 minus 4. So it's going to be 2y squared divided by x. Because here we have x to the power of negative 1. So I can make it positive and write it in the denominator. Or you can say 2y squared x to the power of negative 1. Both of them are correct. Next one. X cubed, y cubed, x cubed divided by 4x squared. X cubed plus times x cubed is going to be x to the power of 6. Y to the power of 3 divided by 4x squared. So it's going to be 6 minus 2, 4. Y cubed divided by 4. Next example. 3a squared b squared. Just write it like that. Here we have 2. I need to multiply by 4. It's going to be 8. A to the power of negative 1 times a squared. So it's going to be 2 minus 1 is going to be just a to the power of 1, or just a, times b. So we're going to have 3 a to the power of 2 divided by a is going to be a. B squared divided by b is going to be b divided by 8. Next one. We have y divided by y to the power of 0 is 1. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 to the power of 2 is 4. So it's going to be y divided by 4. Next one. I just write the numerator as is. Here we have 2x to the power of negative 4 to the power of 3. So 2 cubed is going to be 8. X to the power of negative 4 times 3 is going to be negative 12. So it's going to be 2. If I want to make this one positive, I need to move it to the numerator. And same thing for here, I need to move it to the denominator. So it's going to be 2x to the power of 12 divided by 8 x to the power of 4. Then you simplify 2 and 8 is going to be 1 and 4. So it's going to be x12 minus 4 divided by 4. So it's going to be x to the power of 8 divided by 4. Next one, 2z squared to the power of negative 1. So it's going to be 2 to the power of negative 1 times z to the power of 2 times negative 1. Because it's going to be power of another power, so you need to multiply them. Z squared. So 2 to the power of negative 1 is going to make it 1 over 2. So I write it here. Z to the power of negative 2, z to the power of 2. So it's going to be z to the power of negative 4, because negative 2 minus 2 is going to be negative 4 divided by 2. Or I write it as 1 over 2z to the power of 4. Next one, 2c cubed divided by c to the power of negative 3. So 2c cubed divided by c negative cubed. So it's going to be 2 times c to the power of 3 minus negative 3. It's going to be 2c to the power of 3 plus 3 is going to be 6. Next one is going to be super easy. Why? Because the whole expression is going to be to the power of 0. Any expression to the power of 0 is just 1. I'm going to write it here. Any expression to the power of 0 is 1. Now here, x to the power of 4 times y to the power of 3 times 2y squared to the power of 0. So the whole thing here is going to be just 1. So I'm going to write it as x to the power of 4 times y cubed times 1, which is going to be x to the power of 4 times y cubed. Here you have y times x to the power of 4, 2 to the power of negative 3, y to the power of negative 3, x to the power of 4 times negative 3 is going to be negative 12. So what we can do, we can have 4 minus 12, 1 minus 3, and 2 to the power of negative 3 is going to be 1 over 8. Just write it as this one. Or I can also write it in terms of positive exponent. I bring these two in the denominator. So it's going to be 8x to the power of 8 times y to the power of 2. Next one. 2 times a to the power of 0. So this part is going to be just 1. So 2b squared to the power of negative 3. So it's going to be 2 to the power of negative 3 times b squared to the power of negative 3 times 2ba cubed. So we have 2ba cubed divided by 8b to the power of 6. I wrote it here b to the power of 6 because b is going to be b to the power of 2 times negative 3 is going to be negative 6. And if I move it to the denominator, it's going to be positive. Same thing with the 8. It's 1 over 8, so we write it like that. So now when you simplify it, 2 and 8 is going to be 4a cubed. And here, 6, in here we have 1. So it's going to be 1 minus 6 is negative 5 or positive 5 in the denominator. Or you can do it this way. 6, here you have 1, they cancel out and you're going to end up having 5 here. Now this one, 2 times m to the power of 3 plus 2 plus negative 3. So it's going to be 2m to the power of 8. Next one, c to the power of negative 3 times positive 4 is going to be c to the power of negative 12. C to the power of 4 divided by 2c to the power of negative 3. So it's going to be 1 over 2 times c to the power of negative 12 plus 4 minus negative 3. So it's going to be 1 over 2 c to the power of 7, that's going to be negative 5, or 1 over 2 c to the power 5. Next, 2x to the power of negative 4. So we have 2 to the power of negative 4, x to the power of negative 4, x to the power of negative 1 times x. So these two together is going to be just 1, because negative 1 plus 1 is going to be 0. So x to the power of 0 is going to be 1. So we have 2 to the power of negative 4, x to the power of negative 4, or that's going to be 1 over 16 x to the power of 4. When you bring it in the denominator, it's going to be positive, and 2 to the power of 4 is 16. Next example. 2x cubed z squared. 2 to the power of 3, 8. X cubed to the power of 3, 3 times 3, 9. Z to the power of 2 times 3 is going to be 6. Here, x to the power of 3 times x to the power of negative 4, so it's going to be x to the power of negative 1. Y to the power of 4. Z to the power of 2 cubed is going to be 5. How to simplify it is going to be, here we have 8. 9 minus negative 1, so it's going to be positive 10. Z to the power of 6 minus 5 is going to be just z divided by y to the power of 4. Or you can say 8x to the power of 10 times z times y to the power of negative 4. Here. 2b, 8 to the power of negative 1, c to the power of 0. C to the power of 0 is going to be just 1. So we have 2 to the power of negative 4, b to the power of negative 4, a to the power of negative 4 times negative 1, so it's going to be positive 4. Times 2, a to the power of negative 1, b to the power of 3, divided by 2b c squared. So, these 2 and 2 cancel out. We're going to have 16 in the denominator, because 2 to the power of 4. And then we have b to the power of negative 4 plus 3 minus 1, a to the power of 4 minus 1, 3 c squared. So I'm going to have a cubed 16 c squared b squared, because here negative 4 and 3 is going to be negative 1. Negative 1 and negative 1 is going to be negative 2, so b to the power of negative 2. If you want to make it positive, you need to bring it in the denominator. Next one. 2mn squared p to the power of negative 2 times m to the power of 4 n to the power of negative 1 p to the power of 4. We don't care what do we have here. We just look at this, because to the power of 0, it's just going to be 1. 2m to the power of negative 3, n to the power of negative 4, p to the power of negative 2. Or you can make them positive and bring it in the numerator. That's it. Next example. 2 to the power of 2, 4. X to the power of 3 times 2. It's going to be 4x to the power of 6. 3 to the power of 4 is 3 to the power of 4. P to the power of 3 times 4. So 3 to the power of 4 is going to be 81. P to the power of 3 times 4 is going to be 12. Negative 2 to the power of 4 times k to the power of 3 to the power of 4. So it's going to be negative 2 to the power of 4. Since it's inside the bracket and the exponent is even number, it's going to be positive. So 16. K to the power of 3 times 4 is going to be 12. Next one. 7 squared kq squared. So it's going to be 49q squared. Next one. X to the power of 2 to the power of 3 to the power of negative 1. So it's going to be x to the power of 2 times 3 times negative 1. So it's going to be x to the power of negative 6. Or you can write it as 1 over x to the power of 6. Next one, y to the power of negative 2 to the power of negative 5. So we just multiply these two. It's going to be y to the power of positive 10. (14) a to the power of 4, b to the power of 7 divided by 6, a to the power of 5, b to the power of 4. So it's going to be, first of all, we simplify it. It's going to be 7, 3, a to the power of 4 minus 5 b to the power of 7 minus 4. So it's going to be 7 a to the power of negative 1 b to the power of 3 divided by 3. So it's going to be 7b cubed over 3a. Next one, 11x cubed x to the power of 4 divided by 17 x to the power of 7 y to the power of 9. So it's going to be 11 x to the power of 4 minus 7, 17 y to the power of 9. So it's going to be 11 x to the power of negative 3 or 11 17 x cubed y to the power of 9. Or another method you can use, here you have 4, you have 7, you can cancel this 4 and keep this one 3. You can do that, that's going to be much faster. Here 4 and 14, so we simplify it right from the beginning, reduce it. C to the power of 4, and here we have c, it's going to be c cubed, d to the power of 8. That's it. 12 over 10. So it's going to be 6 over 5. Y and y cancel out because they have the same exponent. Or you can say y to the power of 1 minus 1 is going to be y to the power of 0. So it's going to be 1. And here you have x to the power of 4, x to the power of 8. So it's going to be x to the power of 4. Then you just cancel them. Or you can say x to the power of 4 minus 8. It's going to be x to the power of negative 4. And then you bring it in denominator. It's going to be x to the power of 4. So 6 over 5x to the power of 4. Next one. 18p to the power of 8 q to the power of 8 divided by 10p to the power of 3. 18 and 10 is going to be 9 and 5. P to the power of 8 minus 3 is going to be p8 minus 3 q8. So it's going to be 9p 5 q8 5. Next one. 5m to the power of 8 divided by 20m to the power of 8. M to the power of 8 and m to the power of 8 cancel out because they are the same thing in numerator and denominator. They cancel out. 5 over 20 when you reduce it is going to be 1 over 4. Or you can say m to the power of 8 minus 8 is going to be 1 over 4. M to the power of 0, that's going to be 1 over 4. Next one. 16 and 9, you cannot reduce them. Y to the power of 1 minus 2, x to the power of 4 minus 8. So it's going to be 16 over 9, y to the power of negative 1, x to the power of negative 4. So it's going to be 16 over 9, y, x to the power of 4. Next one, 6 to the power of 2, 36. X to the power of 3 times 2, 6. Y to the power of 6 times to the power of 2 is going to be 12. 12x y to the power of 8. 36 divided by 12 is going to be 3. X to the power of 6 minus 1. Y to the power of 12 minus 8. So it's going to be 3. X to the power of 5. Y to the power of 4. Next one. 2x squared to the power of 3 times 4y cubed to the power of 2 divided by 6xy. 2 cubed is going to be 8. X squared to the power of 3 is going to be x to the power of 6. 4 squared, 16. Y to the power of 3 to the power of 2 is going to be 6 divided by 6xy. So when you reduce it, you're going to have 8 divided by 6 is going to be 4 and 3. 4 times 16 is going to be 64 over 3. X to the power of 6 minus 1, that's going to be 5. Y to the power of 6 minus 1 is going to be 5 as well. So it's going to be 64, x to the power of 5, y to the power of 5 divided by 3. Next example. X plus 2 to the power of 5 times x plus 2 to the power of 7. Since the bases are the same, we just write the base and add the exponent. So it's going to be x plus 2 to the power of 12. 2x minus 1 to the power of negative 2 times 2x minus 1 to the power of 5. Since again the base are the same and we have multiplication, we just add these two. So it's going to be 2x minus 1 to the power of 3. Next one, b to the power of 3 times b to the power of 5 times b to the power of 7 divided by b to the power of 4 times b. So it's going to be b to the power of 3 plus 5 plus 7. b to the power of 4 plus 1 is going to be 5. So it's going to be b to the power of 15 minus 5 is going to be b to the power of 10. Negative 1 over 4 c cubed times d to the power of 2. So it's going to be negative 1 over 4 to the power of 2, c to the power of 3 to the power of 2, d to the power of 2. It's going to be 1 over 16, c to the power of 6, d to the power of 2. Next one, m cubed m to the power of 4 to the power of 2, m n to the power of 5. So that's going to be m to the power of 6 times m to the power of 8 divided by m n to the power of 5. So it's going to be m 6 minus 1, n to the power of 8 minus 5. So m to the power of 5, n to the power of 3. Next example, 5y to the power of n divided by 5y to the power of 6. This one 9, this one 6. 5y to the power of 9 minus 6, so it's going to be 5y to the power of 3. So 5 to the power of 3 is going to be 1 to the 125y cubed. Next example, 3x squared divided by 2y cubed to the power of 4. So it's going to be 3x squared to the power of 4 divided by 2y cubed to the power of 4. So 3 to the power of 4 is 81. X to the power of 2 to the power of 4 is going to be x to the power of 8. 2 to the power of 4 is going to be 16. Y to the power of 3 to the power of 4 is going to be 12. Next one, x cubed times x to the power of 4 divided by x times x squared. So it's going to be x to the power of 3 plus 4, x to the power of 1 plus 2. So it's going to be x to the power of 7, x to the power of 3. So it's going to be x to the power of 7 minus 3, which is x to the power of 4. Next one, y to the power of 4 times y to the power of 5 divided by 1 to the power of 2 times 1y to the power of 3. So it's going to be y to the power of 4 plus 5 divided by y to the power of 2 plus 3. So it's going to be y to the power of 9 divided by y to the power of 5, y to the power of 9 minus 5, which is y to the power of 4. Next one, r squared times r cubed times r to the power of 4 divided by r to the power of 8. So r to the power of 2 plus 3 plus 4 minus 8. It's going to be 2 plus 3 is 5 plus 4 is 9. 9 minus 8 is going to be 1, which is going to be just r. P to the power of 3 times p to the power of 6 times p divided by p to the power of 9. So it's going to be p to the power of 3 plus 9 plus 1 minus 9. It's going to be p to the power of 1 or just p. X to the power of 50 to the power of 10. So it's going to be 50 times 10. It's going to be x to the power of 500. Y to the power of 25 times to the power of 4 is going to be y to the power of 25 times 4. It's going to be y to the power of 100. A to the power of 5 to the power of 3 is going to be a times 5. A to the power of 5 times 3. It's going to be a to the power of 15. C to the power of 3 to the power of 6 is going to be c to the power of 3 times 6 is going to be c to the power of 18. A squared times a cubed to the power of 5 is going to be a to the power of 2 plus 3 to the power of 5. So it's going to be a to the power of 5 to the power of 5. So it's going to be a to the power of 5 times 5 or a to the power of 25. Next one, x cubed times x to the power of 4 to the power of 4. So it's going to be x to the power of 3 plus 4 to the power of 4. That's x to the power of 7 to the power of 4. So it's going to be x to the power of 28. Next one, y to the power of 2 times y to the power of 3 times the power of 5. So it's going to be y to the power of 2 plus 3 to the power of 5. So it's going to be y to the power of 5 to the power of 5. Y to 5 times 5 is going to be y to the power of 25. P to the power of 3 times p to the power of 4 to the power of 2. So p to the power of 3 plus 4 to the power of 2. So it's going to be p to the power of 7 to the power of 2. So p to the power of 14. Next one, r cubed to the power of 4 times r squared to the power of 3. So it's going to be r to the power of 3 times 4, 12. R to the power of 2 times 3, 6. So we have r to the power of 12 plus 6, which is r to the power of 18. T to the power of 2 to the power of 5 times t to the power of 3 to the power of 2. So it's going to be t to the power of 2 times 5 times t to the power of 3 times 2. So it's going to be t to the power of 10 times t to the power of 6. It's going to be t to the power of 10 plus 6, 16. B to the power of 4 to the power of 2 times b to the power of 3 to the power of 2. So it's going to be b to the power of 4 times 2 times b to the power of 3 times 2. So it's going to be b to the power of 8 times b to the power of 6. B to the power of 8 plus 6 is going to be b to the power of 14. U to the power of 5 to the power of 2 times u to the power of 3 to the power of 4. So it's going to be u to the power of 5 times 2 times u to the power of 3 times 4. It's going to be u to the power of 10, here u to the power of 12. And you add them, it's going to be 22. V to the power of 3 to the power of 4, v to the power of 5, so it's going to be v to the power of 12 times v to the power of 5. It's going to be v to the power of 12 plus 5 is going to be v to the power of 17. Here, negative 3a squared b cubed to the power of 3. So it's going to be negative 3 to the power of 3 times a to the power of 2 to the power of 3, b to the power of 3 to the power of 3. So it's going to be negative 3 to the power of 3, since it's odd numbers, remains negative, so negative 27. A to the power of 2 to the power of 3 is going to be 6. B to the power of 3 to the power of 3 is going to be 9. Next one. Negative 2a to the power of 3, b to the power of 5 to the power of 5. So it's going to be negative 32, a to the power of 3 times 5, 15, b to the power of 25. Negative 1 over 2x to the power of 2, y to the power of 4 to the power of 5. So it's going to be negative 1 over 2 to the power of 5 times x to the power of 2 to the power of 5, y to the power of 4 to the power of 5. So it's going to be negative 1 over 32, x to the power of 10, y to the power of 20. That's going to be negative x to the power of 10, y to the power of 20, divided by 32. Next example. Negative 1 over 3, y squared z to the power of 4 to the power of 5. So it's going to be negative 1 over 3 to the power of 5, y squared to the power of 5, z to the power of 4 to the power of 5. So, negative 1 over 3 to the power of 5 is going to be negative 1 over 2, 4, 3. Y to the power of 2 to the power of 5 is going to be y 10. Here, z to the power of 20. So it's negative y to the power of 10, z to the power of 20, divided by 243. Negative 1 over 4 to the power of 2, so it's going to be negative 1 over 4 to the power of 2. Y to the power of 3 to the power of 2 is going to be 6. B to the power of 5 to the power of 2 is going to be 10. So it's going to be a to the power of 6, b to the power of 10, divided by 16. xy squared to the power of 3 divided by x squared y squared. So it's going to be x cubed y to the power of 6 divided by x squared y squared. So x to the power of 3 minus 2. And here we have y to the power of 6 minus 2. So it's going to be x times y to the power of 4. A cubed b to the power of 4 to the power of 3. So it's going to be a to the power of 3 times 3, 9. B to the power of 4 times 3 is going to be 12 divided by a cubed b to the power of 6. So get a to the power of 9 minus 3, b to the power of 12 minus 6. So a to the power of 6, b to the power of 6. M to the power of 4 to the power of 4 is going to be m to the power of 16. M to the power of 3 to the power of 4 is going to be 12. M to the power of 3, m to the power of 9. So it's going to be m to the power of 16 minus 3, m to the power of 12 minus 9. So it's going to be m to the power of 13 times m to the power of 3. Next one, r to the power of 2 to the power of 5 is going to be r to the power of 10. S to the power of 5 to the power of 5 is going to be 25. R to the power of 6, S to the power of 2. So it's going to be R to the power of 10 minus 6, S to the power of 25 minus 2. R to the power of 4, S to the power of 23. Next example, 6m to the power of 7 divided by 6m to the power of 4. So it's going to be 6m to the power of 7 minus 4. That's going to be 6m to the power of 3. 6 to the power of 3 is going to be 216. M to the power of 3 is going to be m cubed. Negative 3a to the power of 12 divided by negative 3a to the power of 10. So it's going to be negative 3a to the power of 12 minus 10. So it's going to be negative 3a to the power of 2. That's going to be 9a squared, because negative 3 to the power of 2 is going to be negative 3 times negative 3, that's going to be positive 9. 3p to the power of 5, 3p to the power of 3. So it's going to be 3p to the power of 5 minus 3. 3p to the power of 2. 3 squared, 9p squared. CD to the power of 8 divided by CD to the power of 4 is going to be CD to the power of 8 minus 4. That's going to be CD to the power of 4, or C to the power of 4, D to the power of 4. X over y to the power of 3 is going to be x to the power of 3 divided by y to the power of 3. Or you can say x cubed y to the power of negative 3. Both of them are correct. 8x squared to the power of 2 divided by 11 y to the power of 5 to the power of 2. So 8 squared is 64. X squared to the power of 2 is going to be x to the power of 4. 11 squared is going to be 121. Y to the power of 10. Next one. 7g to the power of 4 divided by 6h to the power of 3 to the power of 2. So that's going to be 7g to the power of 4 to the power of 2. 6h cubed to the power of 2. 3. Actually 2. So 7 squared is going to be 49. G to the power of 4 times 2, 8. Divided by 6 squared is going to be 36. H to the power of 3 times 2, 6. S to the power of 2 divided by 3 to the power of 3 to the power of 5. So it's going to be s squared to the power of 5. T cubed to the power of 5. So it's going to be s to the power of 10. T to the power of 15. So it's going to be s10. T to the power of negative 15. P to the power of 4 divided by q to the power of 2 to the power of 6. So it's going to be p to the power of 4 times 6 divided by q to the power of 2 times 6. It's going to be p to the power of 24 divided by q to the power of 12. So p 24, q negative 12. Here, a to the power of 5 plus 6 plus 1. Here, a to the power of 2 plus 3. So it's going to be a to the power of 12 divided by a to the power of 5. So it's going to be a to the power of 12 minus 5, which is a to the power of 7. Here, b to the power of 5 to the power of 12 to the power of 1. 5 plus 12 plus 1 is going to be 18. And here, m to the power of 7 to the power of 4 is going to be 11. Or you can write it as b to the power of 18, m to the power of negative 11. Both of them are correct. X minus 3 to the power of 12 divided by x minus 3 to the power of 3 is going to be x minus 3 to the power of 12 minus 3. Why? Because the bases are the same, so it's just subtracted. 12 minus 3 is going to be 9. A cubed times a to the power of 5 divided by a squared to the power of 3. So it's going to be a to the power of 3 plus 5 minus 1 minus 2 to the power of 3. So it's going to be a to the power of 3 plus 5, 8, minus 1, 7, minus 2, 5, times 3. So it's going to be a to the power of 15. B to the power of 5 times b to the power of 6 is going to be b to the power of 11. Here we have b to the power of 4 to the power of 4. So it's going to be b to the power of 11 minus 4, 7, to the power of 4 is going to be b to the power of 28. Here, t to the power of 2, t squared is going to be 2 to the power of 6. Here, t to the power of 3 times t is going to be t to the power of 4. So it's going to be t to the power of 6 minus 4 is going to be t squared. Negative 6a cubed b squared to the power of 3 is going to be negative 6 to the power of 3, a cubed to the power of 3, b squared to the power of 3. So it's going to be negative 216, a to the power of 9, b to the power of 6. Negative 10, a cubed b squared to the power of 2. So it's going to be negative 10 to the power of 2, a cubed to the power of 2, b squared to the power of 2. So it's going to be 100, a to the power of 6, b to the power of 4. Next one. 3x to the power of 4 divided by 2y to the power of 5 to the power of 5. 3x to the power of 4 to the power of 5 divided by 2y 5 to the power of 5. 3 to the power of 5 is 2, 4, 3. X to the power of 4 times 5, 20. Here, 2 to the power of 5 is going to be 32. Y to the power of 5 times 2, 10. Next one. 2b squared divided by 3c to the power of 5 to the power of 5. So it's going to be 2b squared to the power of 5 divided by 3c to the power of 5 to the power of 5. 2 to the power of 5 is going to be 32. B to the power of 2 times 5 is going to be 10. 3 to the power of 5 is going to be 243. C to the power of 25. Next one. C squared d squared to the power of 15 divided by cd to the power of 9. So c to the power of 2 to the power of 15 is going to be c to the power of 30. D to the power of 2 to the power of 15 is going to be 30. C to the power of 9, D to the power of 9. So it's going to be C to the power of 30 minus 9 is 21. D, 30 minus 9 is going to be 21. So C to the power of 21 times D to the power of 21. N cubed to the power of 4 divided by mn to the power of 2. So it's going to be m to the power of 12 because 3 times 4, 12. Same thing for n divided by m squared, n squared. So it's going to be m to the power of 12 minus 2 times n to the power of 12 minus 2. So m to the power of 10, n to the power of 10. Next one. M to the power of 4 times m is going to be m to the power of 5 to the power of 3. M to the power of 3 to the power of 5 is going to be m to the power of 15. So it's going to be m to the power of 15 times m to the power of 15 is going to be m to the power of 30 when you add them. X to the power of 4 divided by x is going to be x to the power of 3. Y to the power of 7 divided by y to the power of 3 is going to be y7 minus 3 is going to be 4. So x cubed, y to the power of 4. Next one is x cubed y to the power of 6 times z to the power of 2 to the power of 4. Here you have x, y squared z to the power of 3. So it's going to be x to the power of 3 times 4, 12. Y 6 to the power of 4, 24. Z to the power of 2 to the power of 4, 8. X to the power of 3, y to the power of 6, z to the power of 3. So it's going to be x to the power of 12 minus 3, y to the power of 24 minus 6, z to the power of 8 minus 3. So it's going to be x to the power of 9, y to the power of 18, z to the power of 5. Next one. 2a cubed b to the power of negative 5 to the power of 3 is going to be 2 to the power of 3, a cubed to the power of 3, b to the power of negative 5 to the power of negative 3. So it's going to be 8, a to the power of 9, b to the power of negative 15. So 8a 9 divided by b to the power of 15. Here we have 3 over x to the power of 5 to the power of negative 4. What we can do, we can just flip the fraction to make this one positive. So it's going to be x to the power of 5 divided by 3 to the power of positive 4. That's going to make it easier. So it's going to be x to the power of 20. Here we have 3 to the power of 4, which is 81. Next one. 2 to the power of negative 3. P to the power of negative 2 to the power of negative 3. Q to the power of 3 to the power of negative 3. So it's going to be 1 over 8. P to the power of positive 6, q to the power of negative 9. So we have p to the power of 6, 8, q to the power of 9. Next one. S to the power of negative 4 minus 3 minus negative 20. So it's going to be s to the power of negative 7 plus 20. It's going to be s to the power of 20 minus 7. It's going to be 13. Next example. 7 to the power of negative 1. Here you have 4 to the power of negative 2. So right from the beginning, I'm going to bring this one in the denominator and move this one to the numerator to make them positive. The rest remain the same so far. So 4 to the power of 2 is 16 over 7. 8 to the power of 4 minus 3. B to the power of 5 minus 2. So it's going to be 16 a b to the power of 3 divided by 7. Next one. X to the power of negative 3 y to the power of 2 divided by x, y to the power of negative 3 to the power of 2. So it's going to be x to the power of negative 3 minus 1, y to the power of 2 minus negative 3 to the power of 2. So it's going to be x to the power of negative 4, y to the power of 5 to the power of 2. So it's going to be x to the power of negative 8, y to the power of 10. So we have y to the power of 10 divided by x to the power of 8. Now this one, x to the power of negative 4 times x to the power of negative 5 divided by x to the power of negative 3. So it's x to the power of negative 4 minus 5 minus negative 3. So x minus 9 plus 3 is going to be minus 6, or 1 over x to the power of 6. Here, 1 to the power of negative 6, I just move it to the denominator. This one, I make it positive and bring it in the numerator. A to the power of 5, b to the power of 3, a cubed, b 6. So it's going to be 81 over 1 is 81. A to the power of 5 minus 3 is going to be 2. B to the power of 3 minus 6 is going to be negative 3. Or it's going to be 81 a squared divided by b cubed. Next one. X to the power of negative 2 minus 4. Y to the power of 2 minus negative 3 to the power of 3. So it's going to be x negative 6, y 5 to the power of 3. So it's going to be y to the power of 15 divided by x to the power of 18, because that's negative 6 times 3 is going to be negative 18, and I move it to the denominator, is going to be denominator is going to be positive. Next one, 6 squared, a to the power of 4 to the power of 2, b to the power of negative 7 to the power of 2. So it's going to be 36, a to the power of 8, b to the power of negative 14. Next one, 11 squared, c to the power of 10 to the power of 2, d to the power of negative 3 to the power of 2. So it's going to be 121, c to the power of 20 divided by d to the power of 6. It's d to the power of negative 6, but if I move it to the denominator, it's going to be positive, like the previous example. This one is 4 divided by a cubed to the power of negative 3 right away, because the whole exponent is negative 3. If I flip the fraction, it's going to make it positive. So a to the power of 3 to the power of 3, 9. 4 to the power of 3 is going to be 64. Next one. 2 over c to the power of 5 to the power of negative 2. So it's going to be c to the power of 5 divided by 2 to the power of 2. So it's going to be c to the power of 10 divided by 4. Next example. S to the power of negative 3 minus negative 4 minus negative 2. So it's going to be s minus 3 plus 4 plus 2. It's going to be s to the power of 3. Here, t to the power of negative 12, denominator is going to be t to the power of negative 7 when you add them. It's going to be t to the power of negative 12 minus negative 7. It's going to be t to the power of negative 5, or 1 over t to the power of 5. Next one, b to the power of negative 14 divided by b to the power of negative 8 is going to be b to the power of negative 14 minus negative 8 is going to be b to the power of negative 6. Or 1 over b to the power of 6. Here you have 6 to the power of negative 2, x to the power of 9, y to the power of 3, 5 to the power of negative 3, x to the power of 4, y to the power of 8. So change these two to make them positive. X to the power of 9, y to the power of 3, x to the power of 4, y to the power of 8. 5 to the power of 3 is 5 times 5 times 5, so it's going to be 125. 6 to the power of 2 is going to be 36. You cannot reduce it. X to the power of 9 minus 4 is 5. Y to the power of 3 minus 8 is negative 5. So it's going to be 125 x to the power of 5 divided by 36 y to the power of 5. Next one. Y cubed minus negative 4 times z to the power of negative 2 minus 3 to the power of 2. So it's going to be y, 3 plus 4 is 7, z to the power of negative 5 to the power of 2. So it's going to be y to the power of 14, z to the power of negative 10. So it's going to be y to the power of 14, divided by z to the power of 10. So that's all the examples I have for the exponent. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave me a comment if you have any question. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel. You can have access to many other videos regarding math, physics, and chemistry. Thank you for watching and have a great day.